Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff, and this is my co-host Dan. Welcome to another episode of the KC Gamers Network podcast. Dan, you had a pretty exciting weekend, from what I understand.
Yes, very exciting. It was. I went to Kansas City Comic-Con.
Yeah, only for one day, but you met Billy Mitchell, former, or is he current, world record holder.
He's doesn't hold any. Doesn't hold the Donkey Kong world record, but he used to.
Yeah, he is known for his appearance in The King of Kong, which was a documentary film that kind of put him in an antagonistic light.
Yeah, but he was the first person to get a perfect score in Pac-Man.
Yes,
and one of only 5 people.
Mm-hmm. And that means that you went through the entire game. On each level. When you ate a power pellet, you ate all 4 ghosts. So that's for all 4 power pellets, and you ate all the possible fruit in the level as well. It means you got to plan out your paths. You've got to know all the patterns for all. Was it 256 levels, I think? Very difficult.
Yeah, he is absolutely like the guests that I mainly went there for. You had Walter Day, and you had Billy Mitchell, and Walter Day is the founder of Twin Galaxies, which is the world leaderboard. He was the first. He created the company that basically helped propel what is esports today. Because he started taking down scores back in the early 80s. None of the companies would keep track of the high scores.
Right.
And he just started keeping track of them. And he'd start getting phone calls.
In fact, a lot of arcade games, like Donkey Kong, for example, actually would reset their high scores at night because they don't have any, they don't have like they don't have any long-term memory or anything. I don't know what the correct, proper technical term is, but they don't have like a battery inside or anything to maintain that high score.
So I met him, and Billy Mitchell, and Billy Mitchell is portrayed as kind of an asshole, but they
portrayed him as the villain because
he
was like, he was the reigning champion, and they wanted to portray him as like kind of the asshole villain. But in actuality, he's actually a really nice guy, and him and the other guy, what was his name?
Walter Day.
No, the guy
Steve Wiebe.
Steve Wiebe. Him and Steve Wiebe are actually really good friends, from what I understand. So,
yeah, they. What you didn't hear about the film. Actually, fun fact. I went up to Billy Mitchell. I talked to him some, and I'm like, yeah, they didn't portray you very well in that film. It's like, yeah, they didn't, but I haven't actually seen the film. He's not seen the film. He doesn't like reading or watching anything that he's in because it can get frustrating.
Yeah,
but
no, I can totally understand that.
So he just completely blocks it all out. But he thrives on negativity. He thrives on it. He is a little
not
arrogant.
Sure what you mean by that.
What?
Not sure what you mean. Like he enjoys seeing negative stuff about him, or
he thrives on it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna beat you. I'm good. I'm good at what I do.
He's just
bring it on. He's competitive, and I respect.
Say he thrives on negativity.
No, he does. He said it himself. He thrives on it. He it doesn't like if you're gonna attack him, he's just gonna brush it off or use it and beat your ass. I mean, he's competitive. He's also a really cool, funny guy. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you said you talked to him.
Yeah, I've talked to him and Walter Day.
About 30 minutes. Completely forgot about our podcast and didn't even try to get them on as guests.
Yeah, well, I didn't have any of my mic or anything, so it was... But
don't worry, I forgive you this one time. Next time you meet a gaming celebrity, though, don't let our fans down.
Okay, yeah. This was... Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll try not to, but you better be there. If you don't, you weren't there, so
That's true. This is true.
But with Walter Day, like I met him, and he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He extended his hand out and shook my hand when I went up there, and he asked what I did, and it's like a lot of guests, they don't necessarily do that. They don't ask you like personal questions, like what do you do, like, and stuff like that. So it's very, and I told him like I'm a 3D animator and modeler and stuff. So that, I thought that was cool. So he's a great guy. I mean, him and Billy Mitchell, because Billy Mitchell will make sure that everyone who's in line or everyone who wants to see him, that he will stay. Like, you know how at conventions sometimes the staff is like, oh, we gotta hurry this up, or we got to be somewhere next. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here. I am going to make sure I get to see every single one of my fans.
That's really awesome.
And like, I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect Billy Mitchell.
He understands that, there's people who have driven out so many miles to see him, who have taken time out of their schedules in hopes of seeing him, so he never want to disappoint anyone.
And another funny thing I forgot to say here, because I was wearing like a Pac-Man shirt. It had like the board, like it showed like the what Pac-Man looks like in the arcade, like the screen, and had like 000 next to like the 1-up or whatever, to see how many lives you had. And he saw it and he's like, "You need to put your quarter in. You need to start the game. What are you doing?" And then Walter Day was like, "So is that Galaga?" And I'm like, "What? Are you like?" And I'm like, "No, it's Pac-Man." He's like, "Oh, I was just testing you." But they are, and another funny thing, because the other guy walked up, he had a Donkey Kong one, and he bashed, he got us for that. It was, and this other group of people that was there too, we were all just talking to them, and one of the gals was like, "My friend doesn't like you." And it's like, okay, well, we're gonna call her then. So he called her on the person's phone, and her name's Rebecca, and she didn't pick up, and it went to voicemail, and he's just went, "Rebecca," and then just hung up. So she's gonna be like, "What the hell?" And gonna find out later that was Billy Mitchell. Like, he don't care. That he just has fun with it. He has fun with the.
Yeah, there's an after party at a place called Tapcade, which I've heard of, downtown Kansas City. I think it's in that Power and Light district. I think
it's just south of the Sprint Center.
Okay.
It's not.
I've heard of it. Yeah. It's like pay $5, you get in, you play all games for free.
And it was $2 that night.
Ooh.
If you had your badge.
Yes.
From KCCC. It was the official after party. Billy Mitchell was there. So you're in an arcade playing games with Billy Mitchell.
That's
and I'm playing Donkey Kong, and he's right over there. I'm just like, this is surreal. This is like, I dreamed of this when I saw the
King of Kong,
which was a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. I remember I saw that movie in theaters. That was a great experience.
Yeah, and then after that, they had a showing of King of Kong at Screenland, the movie theater, and
he sat out on it.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to see it. He sat in the back, but Walter Day watched it. I mean, and there was also a lot of people, and there wasn't a ton of people there, but there was a nice group of people, and a lot of people in the audience were either in that film or like a current world record holder or one of the arcade legends.
Wow, that is actually pretty surreal.
Yeah, Steve Sanders, who was like he's a lawyer. He used to be a Donkey Kong world record holder before Billy Mitchell absolutely humbled his ass. But he also took Steve under his wing and helped make him a better player as well. See, Billy Mitchell, he said he could take any one of us in this room and make them the world record holder of any kind of any game, like obscure game, but not like, but to do it, to be the best at a Donkey Kong, games that have a lot of people playing them, that's a whole different story. To be the best of the best, that's when you know you've accomplished something.
There is some skill inherent there. I mean, you can learn the strategies and stuff, but you've got to have the skill and reaction times and whatnot, and the memory to really nail that high score.
Yeah, and actually before that screening, he showed a trailer for the Princess isn't here. What is it called?
I think. Would it be Your Princess is in Another Castle? I've heard of the movie. I don't think that's the name of it, but
it's something like that. And he actually took first. I think one of the people that made it, or was the head of it, tried to interview Billy Mitchell, and she was obviously, in his eyes, it looked like she was trying to get some sort of controversial response out of him, so she could put it in the movie. And she didn't get anything that necessarily bad, because he was just like, because the movie is about women and video games, and I'm not exactly sure, but it's like women can be just as competitive as guys, and that's basically what Billy Mitchell said. He said that women just need to start competing, not giving a crap. And something to that. And he could sense, or he noticed that her hand started to sink as the mic was going down, because she's like deflated. She didn't get anything. And he doesn't know if he's in the film or not.
Yeah.
Negative or positive. But he's still promoting the film, though, because he feels it needs to be promoted. So.
And who's the person that's like the host of the movie?
The host of the movie of King of Kong?
No, in Your Princess is in Another Castle, or whatever it's called. Is it Anita Henriksen?
No, I don't think it's Anita Sarkeesian.
Okay. I don't know what her last name is.
Controversial even for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Say she did her YouTube series is it was like the result of a successful Kickstarter, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, because I ain't going there today. And I saw.
Didn't seem like it makes sense for her to be doing a movie. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if. I don't think so. I don't think she's part of that. But anyway, in that, I noticed in the trailer, one of the guests that I thought of bringing on, forgot what was the name again. Becky Burger Time Becky.
The 3DO.
Yeah, the one that was the Doom.
Yeah,
I'm terrible with names. I can't remember anything. But she was in there.
That's cool.
As like, yeah, she was in it. So I thought that was interesting. We could even talk about that. So that movie's coming out. Forgot what it was called. But
we don't do marketing for free here on the Kansas City Gamers Network podcast. So keep that in mind. Movie, whatever you're called.
Yeah, I think it's called Your Princess is in Another Castle.
Now, one thing you told me that I thought was kind of funny is someone asked Billy Mitchell if he plays any modern games, and his response was like an immediate no.
He's just
and
like,
then next question.
No, next question. Because and that was
his son plays a lot of modern games.
Yeah, and he's like, his son is like, my son could beat me in any of those games, and I know it. So, yeah, and he's also a father of 2 daughters, so he's got 3 children. So, So
Yeah, and yeah. What were you saying?
no, I'm not sure where I was. I was just mentioning.
Well, yeah. Well, while we're talking about modern games, Gamescom was, I think, last week. I think it just ended. There was a lot of new gameplay for some pretty exciting titles coming out later this year. I believe they were showing some news, or they were showing Fallout 4 there. Not really gonna. I haven't really been following Fallout 4 too closely because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But
I just know it's going to be great.
mhm.
I don't see how it's not going to be.
Yeah. Well, they were showing Crackdown 3. Microsoft was showing it kind of. They said it was behind closed doors demo, but there was a video from IGN off screen with narration from it. It wasn't like one of those unreleased things, but they weren't like showing it on the show floor. Rather, it was a very graphically it didn't look great because it was very very early state. But I'm really really into what they're doing with Crackdown 3 as far as world design goes. Everything in the world is physical. There's no static mesh props or anything. Everything is destructible. Everything in the game world is destructible. All the buildings are detailed inside and outside. It's it's insane.
Wow.
So there's dynamic destruction on literally every single object in the game world.
That's what I've been dreaming of, but we
There's
just haven't had the processing power to do it.
That's the interesting thing. The Xbox One does not actually have the processing power to handle that. See, you can go in the multiplayer mode and you can have a bunch of friends with you online, and you can basically explore this whole entire, completely destructible, detailed inside and outside city. And the way they're handling it is they're basically splitting the city up into sections that are handled by different cloud servers. So, um, the destruction is handled on cloud servers, basically.
Really?
So it dynamically
Wow.
allocates different sections of the environment. It allocates like the destruction physics for those parts of the environment to be handled by a remote cloud server. And because this is like a very early build, they had graphs and meters on the screen to show basically how much processing power is being allocated to the Xbox One, and then it showed those cloud servers being allocated dynamically and all of that, memory being taken up and allocating more cloud servers. I think they said the record they had for the most servers that they had active at any one time is like 14 plus the
Wow.
Xbox One's own processing power. But it looks crazy. Like they started off just demonstrating it with like a concrete wall, saying, let's say you want to make like a small little sniper's nest, you can just like take out your assault rifle and just like carve out a little hole in this wall and then use that to kind of peek out of. It was
That
pretty
because
crazy what they
I
were showing.
thought I heard you were talking about Crackdown 3. I'm like, is that
I've
you
never
usually
played
don't really talk
I've never
about that
played any of the Crackdown games. I know nothing about them. I don't know
because the
because they kept
first
saying,
one, yeah,
mhm.
the
Oh
first
yeah,
one was the only reason people bought it was because they
this
had the
with the
Halo
Halo
3
3
beta,
Halo 3 beta.
but ended up being a decent game, and the
Yeah, that's what
second
I've
one
heard.
was even better. So
So I don't know if this destruction stuff has been like a staple of the Crackdown series or not. They kept saying that this physical environment, this fully physical environment, is like a staple of the Crackdown series. And I don't know if they were talking about Crackdown 3 specifically or the series as a whole, but either way, they basically culminated or climaxed there and showing like they had two skyscrapers side by side, and they were showing that like when they blew a wall off of the top of the skyscraper with a rocket launcher, the debris that was flying off of that wall was basically flying from the physical area of the map that was allocated to one cloud server into another one, and the debris is actually dynamically in real time. Those physics are being transferred over to another cloud server.
wow,
So in midair, like mid, you know, thing. So that was
Real quick,
fascinating to
that's
watch,
for
and
real.
I'm just worried how that would be affected if their cloud servers went offline or if your internet goes down and you're playing single
yeah,
player.
that
They said it's fully playable offline. They didn't say
really
how the game's going to handle all that destruction offline, though.
probably gonna blow it.
So hard to say too much about
Well, if
that.
a cloud server goes offline, I assume the game just ends. I don't
Well,
know.
they said you can play it offline, so I don't know. But
That doesn't make any. I don't know.
yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
they didn't really go into too much detail about that. But um, what they basically did at the end of the demo is they knocked down a building that then fell into another building that fell down, and that building fell into another building, destroyed that building, and some of that debris kind of like destroyed parts of another building. All of it dynamic in real time. All the buildings are fully explorable inside and out because they said they had to. Because if you were to blow a hole in the building, there's just nothing in there. It wouldn't make sense.
Mm.
So, because again, everything is destructible. It's not like some of it. It's literally everything in the environment. Now, I don't know how they're handling that with like the ground, because you can't have your players like digging their way down through the bottom of the map, obviously.
Huh.
But either way, it's fascinating stuff. Basically, they were saying that you could knock down a building to create a bridge to another building or to another part of the map.
Well, I need to. Too bad I don't have an Xbox One.
Yeah, same.
I've got I just bought a original Xbox.
Yeah.
You can't call it Xbox One.
Yeah. It's the OX, the original Xbox. That's a horrible acronym.
Yeah.
Anyways, Crackdown 3 looks really cool. If I ever get an Xbox One, I'm probably going to try it out. I'm just worried about how it's going to handle that, because they did say that slow internet connections may have trouble playing it. But again, it's very early in development.
Which could be a problem in your
Yeah.
house.
It's very, it's very, very early in development, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
It's worse because yours is inconsistent. It's not that it's slow. It's just something funky going on with
Yeah.
your router. I don't know.
So, you were also telling me about a Nintendo employee who took to a podcast, not ours, unfortunately, but another podcast. He said some stuff.
Yeah, we'd be getting more views if that was the case.
Yeah, that's true.
We should bring people on more often.
Yeah, we should bring people on in general. Anyways, we had or there was this Nintendo employee. He was on a podcast. You were telling me that he was basically talking about how you told me that he was putting it like it is, basically saying like Nintendo's never going to release X game in the U.S. because
I'll read the quote.
Okay.
The quotes. So here we go. Because basically he was on a podcast last week, and it went viral, and he got fired for it.
Yes.
Okay. So he says, people think that obviously they're right, and what they like or dislike has to be the norm. Why would it be otherwise? The classic, why do you hate money? Why do you hate money, Nintendo? But it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we do want money, which is why we know it's a colossal waste if we ever try to localize that in this current market. Because look at you people, you don't make up a big enough group. People don't like finding out that their fan base is actually too small to justify the cost of the thing they want. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like with I feel like he was fired because of this, and I think generally speaking, that is because of that's I think that's usually part of most NDAs. You can't, because the way he worded it was more of like a it seemed like it could have been interpreted that he was representing Nintendo. That quote could have very easily been taken out of context and say Nintendo says that the fan base for Metroid is too small, and that's why there's no new Metroid games or something. And it's just I think most NDAs say that you cannot represent a company on your behalf without express permission. And
Well,
I feel
well,
like
I think,
NDA says if you breach this NDA, you're fired. And so exactly what was said would happen when he accepted the job happened. So it's not like it's a big surprise or anything. He should have known that that was the consequence of that action.
Yeah, but to me, I don't think it was the biggest deal. to me. Um, he actually afterwards said he deeply regretted what he said, and he said it was all his fault. It was his fault he got fired.
Yeah.
He owned up to it. He felt absolutely terrible, and he said he's lost his job. He really knew. Um, since leaving high school, he's had a singular goal in terms of career.
Mm-hmm.
He got through college. He pushed me through the difficult times, and he finally, looking through this,
Yeah.
he got the job, and it's just he has to deal with this now. He works for Nintendo. That is highly prestigious.
Oh yeah. And he got fired for breaking an NDA.
I would be
Doesn't look
absolutely
great.
just depressed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know the feeling that he's gone through.
You've got to be careful when you're working for companies like big software development companies like that. Even on social media, like on your own personal social media, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're representing the company, well, even then, some companies are assholes and just
even if you're not
dump you over your own personal opinions you put online.
I don't know.
He's not really representing the company, though.
That stuff's usually covered under an NDA, though. But either way,
well, because I see Bill Trennan, the translator for Mr. Miyamoto. Mm-hmm. He's got his own personal Twitter account, and I see politics on there. I see all kinds of stuff.
It's not directly related to Nintendo, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
just doesn't care.
But weren't you saying it's under you're still representing them, but
kind of
the
sort
company,
of.
but he's not really. It's his own. He's his own person. He's not.
I think what I'm thinking of is I've read some things recently, like with firefighters getting fired due to racist comments on their personal Twitter accounts. They get fired because of that, because they're a representative of the community. Even though they're not, on the clock or anything, they're still a firefighter.
I mean, if you make legit racist comments, I mean,
well, yeah, and I understand
he didn't do that.
A fully different side, but here he was saying, "Oh, Nintendo doesn't care about their fans; they just care about money, and that's why you're not getting the games that you guys are saying you want."
Well, what he said was it's not exactly profitable to make these niche games and localize them, because then they're losing money for it, and people don't realize that. So I mean, he is, I think, telling it like it is,
mm-hmm.
but Nintendo didn't like that because it didn't put them in a positive light. But I would let it slide. I'd be like, you need to be careful what you're saying, but mm-hmm. I'm not totally crushing all's free speech.
Yeah. If they signed a legal document that says you cannot represent the company or present it in a negative light or whatever, you just can't represent the company on your behalf or whatever. If they sign a legal document that says you can't do that, and then it says that the consequence for doing so is being fired, you're kind of obligated to adhere to that. It's more of the dictation of the legal document as opposed to, well, I don't know, I can let it slide this one time. Well, in other news, a game on Steam fairly recently, it's called Journey of the Light. It's been making some rounds on news websites. I actually heard about this one before you mentioned it to me. I just didn't remember the name. But it's a game on Steam. It's kind of a top-down puzzle-solving thing. You're basically given a one-sentence clues to what you have to do in the level. And very, very difficult, very vague puzzle. And your goal is to try and figure out the puzzle, and then you go to the next level, and then you just kind of rinse and repeat. The problem is that the other levels don't actually exist, and there's no solution for the first level.
Yeah, he got in some trouble.
hmm So the thing is, Steam has a refund policy. For our listeners who don't know, if you're on Steam, when you purchase a game on Steam, you can request a refund from the developer as long as you haven't played the game for more than 2 hours and you've owned it. I think like less than 48 hours. I think.
Yeah. Well, now I think it's like a couple weeks,
So
2 weeks.
he was like lashing out at people saying, "Well, it's because of you people doing the Steam refund thing that my game isn't successful."
Yeah.
And his game is basically a scam. He says there's 7 to 8 levels. The trailer's filled with like fake quotes, and it's I don't know. It's all kinds of shady, and I don't have any respect for this guy at this point. But he and I guess I was reading an article about it actually.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the game is made in Unity, so what this person is able to do is he went into a folder and he just like renamed some of the files so he could basically access the other scenes in the game, and none of the other scenes had levels in them. There's only the first level.
Yeah, he got in some deep shit with people.
hmm
He on his Twitter, he posted like he felt horrible like after he started getting slammed for it. And he posted a picture of his eye close up, and it was completely bloodshot. And this guy's in a world of depression now from this. So,
At least he can claim to be. He already got a bunch of people's money from it. But
well,
the thing is,
it,
what he was doing is he was Steam. Some Steam games, when you put a game on Steam, you can choose to have trading card support on it. And the way that works is you basically when as you play the game, uh, over time you earn trading cards in it. And
mhm,
I think the way that works is when you buy the game, you're given a certain number of card drops. You
mhm,
won't be able to get all of the
yeah,
cards, but you get some of them, and then you trade cards on the Steam marketplace to try and get the rest.
yeah,
Now, what he was saying is yet the people who having trouble beating the first level, you have to um if you get all the trading cards, they contain hints as to how to solve the puzzle on the first level. So he's basically telling people get all the trading cards, and it'll tell you the answer for the first level. Obviously, they don't because the second level doesn't exist.
yeah.
But the thing is,
It's a scam,
in
bottom
order to
line.
get all of those trading cards, you would have to have the game running for more than 2 hours,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't be eligible for the refund at that point.
yeah. This guy's just a dumbass. To
hmm
put it bluntly,
Yeah,
it's he feels
it's
bad for it
unfortunate that we
now. I
have people
mean,
like
I'm
that
not gonna
on.
continue to slam him now because he
Now,
looks like he.
did his game go through Steam Greenlight? Do you know?
I think it did
Ooh.
because that's the only way I think he could get through it.
Yeah, Steam Greenlight's been taking a lot of flack recently.
I
And
mean, you're gonna have a bunch of crap. You're gonna have a bunch of good stuff.
Mhm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
We
too
got
bad
we
if
got Polybridge out of Steam Greenlight, so that was pretty cool.
you got Goat
Um
Simulator from it,
Goat Simulator from that too.
Surgeon
There's
Simulator.
definitely been a lot of good games coming from Steam Greenlight, but there's also,
If it's
the
bad, you can
occasional one.
refund it now. So I don't. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I don't
Which
care.
while we're talking about refunds, I want to talk about Arkham Knight on PC a little bit. Batman Arkham Knight. Uh what I was actually watching some stuff last night about it, and uh, I guess it's just puzzling to think that Warner Brothers Games would have released a product they knew was so broken and unfinished on on Steam, knowing that people could get a refund for it.
Yeah.
So naturally, they made very little money, and when they saw that they were actually, you know, people were refunding or requesting refunds, they took it down immediately, and then, Rocksteady's been completely redoing it from the ground up. But there was some interesting stuff actually. Nvidia had a partnership with them for Arkham Knight, and they were doing something like you can get all these advanced new like graphics features on the PC version only, like these new rain weather effects and stuff. And the thing is, all of the gameplay shown in these videos was at 60 frames per second. Now the PC version is locked at 30 frames per second. So how were they running the game at 60 frames per second? Well, the thing is, if you listen very closely in the background, they left the noise of the actual gameplay noise in. All the sound effects and voices are twice the pitch they should be. So they were actually taking the 30 frames per second gameplay video and they sped it up. That's horrible.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I think there's a lot of people. They're calling it Chipmunk Gate.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
just add gate to the end of anything. It's a conspiracy theory now.
Yeah,
But,
that seems to be the trend.
Yeah.
These days.
Now,
I think you're conspiring against me, Jeff.
it's Jeff Gate, 2015.
Jeff Gate.
Jeff Gate, 2015.
I don't trust you.
I don't think I'm going to be doing much sabotaging on you or anyone in the near future, actually, Dan, because Fallout Shelter is just came out on Android today.
Yeah, you're going to be locked in your Fallout Shelter. Playing that.
I
If you have one.
Been completely sucked into it, to say the least. I am unable to stop playing it. In fact, I actually left my phone upstairs intentionally so that I would not spend this entire episode looking at it for Fallout Shelter updates. It's really...
I wouldn't start the podcast. I'd be like, screw you.
Yeah.
If you want to play that? This is important, damn it.
That it's for those of you who don't know, Bethesda during their E3 conference, I think we actually covered in our first episode of the show. They announced near the very end, while they were talking about Fallout 4, and they revealed it basically. They were talking about how they had been making Fallout Shelter a phone game since they finished Fallout 3, I believe, just kind of as a side project, and that it was finished, and they were releasing it that day for iOS.
Yep.
And it just came out on Android today, so I was finally able to play it.
I've got a Windows phone.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be playing it.
I don't know if I could stay focused on a tiny screen.
Well, it's one of those builder games, kind of like Tiny Tower, where you play it for like 10 minutes and then you kind of just put it away and then you come back later.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played that. I don't play mobile games, so.
I think it's one of those building games where you don't really do as much waiting when you build rooms. The rooms build instantly, and as opposed to most of the other ones. But it's inspired by a lot of games that I love to bits. There's a little bit of XCOM Enemy Unknown in there. The way you position the rooms in your Fallout Shelter is kind of strategic, so you like link rooms together for a more effective structure. So there's a little bit of strategy involved there. Then there's with I think what was it? I think I don't know. Have you heard of? I think it's called Progress Quest.
Nope, never heard of it.
It's an MMO with all the annoying bits taken out. So all of the having to walk somewhere, that's gone. Having to talk to characters, that's gone. It's literally
I like that stuff though.
A live feed of text that just scrolls up and it plays itself.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a parody, and so when you can send your vault dwellers out into the wasteland to hunt for stuff, and so they'll bring back like new people to move into your vault and other stuff like that, like equipment, so like armor and weapons and stuff. But when you look at a log for all of them, and it does that kind of progress quest style kind of list of things that are happening, which I thought was really cool. It's a lot of fun. I think it's probably going to hold me off until November when Fallout 4 comes out, which I do have pre-ordered, I hope. Hopefully Amazon didn't decide to ruin it, but
Yeah.
I did get my Pip-Boy edition pre-ordered,
Yeah.
and I'm
I
actually
didn't.
looking it up right now to see if it's coming out on Windows Phone. Um,
Nothing's coming out on Windows Phone.
that's somebody hacked it on the Windows 10 mobile, but
Windows 10 mobile's not even out.
is it not?
Not a
This is an article
public
from
release.
16. Oh,
No,
it's
Windows
15
10's not
hours.
out on mobile.
Um, Weird.
Not till
Maybe somebody has
late.
like a pre-release
There's pre-release stuff
version.
that
But
I know of. It's not. They said not till late. Earliest is like or latest November. But I really
I
want to
assumed
just
that's what your phone had on it. But
no 8.1.
yeah, it looks
Still,
like they're
it's
not
just crap.
planning to release it on Windows Phone. Doesn't look like.
No, we're not. We don't get anything on there. So app support's horrible. But I assume once Windows 10 comes out, I think things will pick up though, and I'm really hopeful. So,
I really hope that you get to play Fallout Shelter eventually as well, Dan.
well, I don't
So,
really care to play it. I'm not into that stuff, but
don't you have an Android tablet actually?
I still have my old Android phone. But I'm not. I might sell it because it's not really.
You
I use
should
it for Snapchat and that's it, and I
you
can't
should
really go anywhere.
you should you should boot it up, plug it into the wall or something. Download Fallout Shelter, play for a little bit, become one with the collective, and you know, have fun.
No, I'll just play Fallout 3.
I've been wanting to go back to play Fallout 3 recently. I'm getting these nostalgic feelings, but Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out really soon, and
Yeah,
I want to I want to play through Metal Gear Solid 4 again.
and I still haven't beaten 3. I've beaten them
But you've gone through all
all
of them
but 3,
except 3
and Peace
and Peace
Walker,
Walker.
and the other spin-off stuff,
Well, yeah, I don't think that the other spin-offs aren't canon, I don't think.
like the Game Boy Color version.
That one actually was explicitly said to not be canon. There were some of the snake tails in the special release of 2 that actually linked into the Game Boy Color one, though, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well, this just in, or not really just in, but Peter Moore says Kojima and Konami should kiss and make up.
Well, apparently working conditions at Konami are not very good, as we mentioned in a previous episode. I believe Kojima was really not too happy with a lot of the stuff that Konami was making him do, and Konami, they had a lot of creative disagreements. So I think he just they fired him. I think is what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah,
And of course, Peter Moore wants them to kiss and make up. He's the Microsoft guy, right?
EA.
EA. Oh,
He used to be Microsoft,
right.
Xbox. He kind of, yeah, that stuff. But
Well, it would be nice. I'm gonna laugh really hard if Konami retweets that to Hideo Kojima's account.
we'll see how that
That would be
goes over.
just hashtag what do you say? Hashtag
Yeah, so we can get our Silent Hills.
I have been wanting to play through PT again.
I need to still play it. I haven't played it.
Did you have it? Did you ever download it?
I didn't have it. Got taken off right.
Oh,
I got a PS4 like a week after it got taken off.
dang.
So
Yeah, I don't
I can
think.
buy the ones
Have
with.
you? I can't remember if we mentioned this on the previous episode or not. Did I mention the Unity version of PT that someone made?
Yes, you did.
You might want to try that because it's not the exact experience, but it's really more of like a hallway to look at art assets in. But
I want the
still pretty
exact
cool.
experience.
Yeah,
The way Kojima and Guillermo meant it.
I think that got canceled, and then immediately, like the next day, they released a trailer for a Silent Hill pachinko machine featuring Pyramid Head.
Well,
The dumbest
I want to touch on I want to talk about the deals of the week.
Oh
So
yes,
I've got some
this
deals.
is a new segment we're wanting to do in the show. I think deals of the week, where we talk about some gaming deals.
Biggest deal, in my opinion, my
Hmm.
biased opinion, MLB 15, $20 at Target
I'm gonna go to
for
Target tomorrow and maybe pick that up. Actually, probably not. I
for
need to save
the
my money, but
PS4.
that is very
So
tempting.
yeah, and Bloodborne $40,
Ooh yeah.
Far Cry 4 $20.
Actually, I want to say I actually saw somewhere is 20, but I can't remember. Crap. It was 20, or it's on GameFly, I believe. $20 for Bloodborne used.
Yeah, but this is brand new.
Oh, yeah. Still, $40 for Bloodborne. That's a good deal. It's a great game.
And
You should get
let's
it.
see. No, I don't got. I really have no money for that stuff right now. If you want to give me a job somewhere, that's good. But anyway, Mario Party 10, $35 at
Yeah.
Amazon and Best Buy.
What else have we got?
Um, let's see here. We also have saw something else here. Lego The Hobbit, $5 on Steam. That's pretty cheap. I
Ooh.
don't have any interest
Are
in
the
that.
other Lego games on sale, or is it just that one?
On here, it just says that, but that might be because it's new.
Let me, I'm gonna check real quick and look it up. It looks like, let's see. I'm worried that this will be out of date by the time we publish this. I'm looking at Lego The Hobbit on Steam right now. It looks like it's not $5, it's 20.
It says it right on here, so
Hmm. Interesting.
no, it says no. Wait, they're linking it. I clicked the link and it sends me to Left 4 Dead 2. So good
Is Left
job,
4 Dead
good
is Left 4
job,
Dead
good job, GameSpot.
is Left 4 Dead 2 $5?
Yes.
That's quite different from
No,
Lego
wait,
The
no,
Hobbit.
no. It, no. I guess they're just lying, or it's out of date now, or it's
That's
gonna happen
unfortunate.
tomorrow.
Maybe. Well, there is a new Humble Bundle going on right now. We got it's the Humble Weekly Bundle Return of Space Boy, and it's a bunch of space themed games. For $1 or more, you get Steam keys for Steam Marines, which is kind of a retro style top down roguelike game that takes place in space. You get Rockets, which is a local couch multiplayer competitive thing. It looks really fun. Star Maid, which I have no idea what that is, but that's something that you get. It's an early access game. And if you beat the average, you get Star Wall, which is another couch multiplayer experience thing. You get Edge of Space, which is another early access thing I don't know anything about. And then you get a game called Interplanetary, which my brother has been telling me about actually. It sounds a lot like are you familiar with the game Gorilla?
No.
You type in like your angle and your power, and you throw a banana at that angle and power. And your goal is to try and hit the other player with the banana to kill them.
Okay.
It's kind of like you take turns and whatnot. So in Interplanetary, it's kind of a similar idea. You have artillery, you have this massive artillery cannon on a planet, and you're basically trying to shoot your opponent's planet. But it takes orbits into effect, and the planets are orbiting as the shots are fired. So it's very much based on orbital physics and stuff. There's also asteroids, and you can like hit the asteroid, and then you can like make an asteroid like collide with the other player's planet to win. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to try that out.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that stuff, or I glanced at it and didn't wasn't too interested
Hmm.
at the moment,
Yeah,
but
but
or
yeah.
it was something else. I don't exactly remember.
So yeah, Humble Weekly Bundle. It's pay what you want. As of this recording, the average is 531. You get a game called Reassembly. I've never heard of that either. You get that if you pay $10 or more. But there's also, at the time of this recording, the Humble
You
Bandai.
just got quiet.
Did I get quiet? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, but you got really quiet.
That's strange. Hang on just a sec. How about now?
No, same.
You may have to edit.
Now it's louder. It's louder.
Okay, how about now?
No.
Okay, because I unplugged my headset and plugged it back in. What in the hell? I'm gonna look at my Skype settings real quick. Okay. It's
There you
working.
go. No,
Alright.
you think because you're not close enough to it.
How about now?
Talk.
I'm talking right now. Can you hear
No,
me?
still quiet. I don't know what's going
Let me
on.
open up the options menu real quick. Can you hear me now? How about now? How about now? How about now? How about now?
Oh, it was probably on my end, so
Maybe.
go.
All right. So, where was I at?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. So the Humble Bandai Namco bundle, as of the time of this recording, is also still available for purchase. Though it says here only for the next 5 days or so. So get this up fast. You get Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus with all the DLC, Platform Mines, Dead Core, and then if you pay above the average, you get Ridge Racer Unbounded, Enslaved, Ace Combat Assault Horizon, Star Trek, Beware Planet Earth, and then if you pay $10 more, you get Dark Souls.
I already have it, so
So, for any of our listeners who are interested, Dark Souls is a great game, totally worth $10. So, and with that, I think that just about wraps up our show for tonight.
yeah. Not much the past week, other than the biggest thing for me was the past week and meeting the legend.
Well, there's a lot of
Billy
news
Mitchell
kind of
and
a lot
Walter
of news
Day.
kind of still leaking out from the residuals of Gamescom, I suppose. A lot of Gamescom demos.
Residual effects.
Yes, a lot of Gamescom demos kind of being released after the event. So, pretty exciting stuff. I'm still really excited for XCOM 2 and Metal Gear Solid 5, of course. So, those are my two next very highly anticipated games, in addition to Fallout 4. Can't wait to romance Mr. Handy. It's going to be awesome. They don't
That's
call
what
him.
we're all looking forward to.
They don't call him Mr. Handy for nothing.
That's right. It's too inappropriate, Jeff.
What can I say?
Too inappropriate for the show.
I just like to talk like it is.
You're fired.
And that concludes our episode.
You'll never see him again. It's just going to be me. Can't speak
Dan,
out. Can't
only
speak.
Dan.
Just me. Even though I don't even know if I have the authority to do that. Because I don't know. This is kind of a mutual thing.
It kind of is, yes.
So I can't really... Damn it.
That's our show, guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.
Yep, and we'll find out what happens. Because
remember to follow us on Twitter at... what was our Twitter handle?
KC Gamers Network.
Or at KC Gamers Network.
That's.
And then also follow us on YouTube, or KC Gamers Network on there as well, and on Facebook as well. KC Gamers Network there too.
And the Twitch.
Yes, we are also on Twitch now.
Haven't done anything yet.
Haven't done anything yet. I think we've been talking about some potential ideas.
I mean, if we're just playing a game, we could just stream on there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Get some Rocket League going.
Good game.
Yeah. So let's we need to get going on there eventually. I think we can get some pretty entertaining stuff. I tell you what I want to do is I want to try and do some wacky, like non-objective Metal Gear Solid 5 things, like trying to clear out the whole base non-lethally by extracting every soldier or something, wacky stuff like that. But I've been playing a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes recently, and there's some fun
demo.
stuff to do with it. Yeah,
$30 demo.
it's actually free on PlayStation Plus if you.
Well, it was. I mean, when it came out.
Yeah,
So
I was $20 on PS3, but
pretty game. It's pretty on PC. So
and I can actually play it on PC now because I have I upgraded to a GTX 970, so I'm happy about that.
for scrubs. Is that a real man's video card? Got a Titan. But no, actually, I don't have a Titan. But I think that wraps today up.
For the third time, yes.
This is episode 7.
Yes.
So lucky number 7. Hopefully this.
Yes, this is the one that's gonna
watched.
go viral.
Don't think so. We'll think about getting some guests on. Just
We need to look into that, but thanks for listening, everyone. Tune in next week, and we'll be talking at that point again.
All right. See ya.